Howdy y'all. This morning Dad and I are headed up north in Colorado here, almost to the Wyoming border, to look at another D4 project. So got the old man driving this morning. See how excited he is to bring home another project. Hopefully this one's running.
I said no more projects.
He said no more projects. As you can see, I've always listened to what my dad says and all of his advice. So we're on our way up to a little town up north of Greeley, and we'll take a look at it and see if it's worth bringing home to live with the rest of the collection. All right, howdy y'all. So we did go look at the other D4 up north this morning, and wasn't necessarily a bust. It would have been a good tractor, but I gave him a price. He had somebody else come and look at it that beat me out. So on to the next one. Maybe we'll find another one. And part of the reason I was looking for another one is because, well, we got a little excited on this tractor and dove right into trying to get the pistons loose. And we had pulled a couple of valves off of the head. And the ones that we pulled weren't terrible. But there was a couple on the center cylinders that are up over top dead center. They are extremely pitted. I'm not sure we're going to be able to lap these in. I've seen videos of people doing that with worse than this. But what concerns me even more than the valves is what's on the underside of this head here. So Dad's out here with me today, and we're going to take a look at these valves, do a little work. We might even try and see if we can get these pistons unstuck on the D4. And I keep pressing on. It may take us a lot longer to get to where we want to get with this than we originally intended, but that's the kind of project that this is. So let's look at the bottom of this and see how these seats are. It's not pretty. Yeah, pretty ugly. This seat might clean up, but these are pretty far gone.
The mice have a bunch of flaxseed in it.
Yeah, this was stored in a barn. There's flaxseed and everything. So we're going to clean this up today, take a look at it, and see if we can get it, I don't know, see if it's salvageable. I'm actively looking for another head for this machine while we're actually looking for another machine. And then we might actually try to heat these cylinders and pistons and see if we can get this loose today too. What do you think?
I think a couple of them are pretty rusty. That's what this guy,
That's got some,
that's the worst one.
that's got some big pits in the bottom.
Yeah, these two are the worst.
Are those? So Dad's lapping the valves on the good ones.
What's it doing? Anything? Can you see?
Got a little valve grinding compound. Yeah. Cleaning up. These ones weren't bad.
This one had a little pit in it in the front. Let me clean her off. It's going to take a lot.
Yeah, I see the pits down here in the bottom.
Yep.
Those are going to be hard to clean up.
It's going to take a lot of stuff.
So we found in our old tools from the old shop some old reamers here. Kind of a cool tool. Just don't think we have the setup to make these work, and their angles are very particular, so there might not necessarily be the correct one. It's like these are, what does that say, Dad? Ward's
Super Quality.
Ward's Super Quality. Never know what you're
Made
gonna
in
find.
USA.
Never know what you're gonna find in the old toolbox.
See, it's going to take, it would take a lot to get these pits out. It's starting to shine that up, but it's just shining it up. It's going to take other major work.
Shiny, but it's still pitted. And this isn't the worst one. This is one of the better ones, unfortunately. Okay, so we're going to try another trick here. Put a little heat on it. Heat it up, let it cool. See if we can get it to expand and then pop loose when it cools. Probably going to take a lot. So Dad has got the torch heating that up. We heard two very distinct pops. We're kind of heating the piston, trying to get it to expand. I'm going to get underneath and hit it with a block of wood and see if I can jar something loose. Creeper, creeper, creeper. Yeah, it's breaking. I need something else.
What?
That ain't working. And I put the jack under here with a little bit of pressure on that rod. It's actually somewhat lifted up the front of the tractor. So there's pressure on it. I'm going to heat these center ones and see if I can get them to do the same thing. And then we'll do the back one, which I think is the least of our worries at the moment.
But I think it's froze too.
I think they all are.
But it's just not as severe, maybe.
Not ready for the big torch. Quite ready. Okay, so put some heat on that back piston back there. I think we got it plenty hot, since there's some smoke coming up from where the rods are. And block's warm to the touch, but not hot. So we've heated all four of these cylinders. And the front one, that I think is our worst culprit, we heated it first and had a couple of really good pops come out of it. So it felt like something's breaking loose, so we'll see. Let this cool off and see if it retracts, and we hear a few more pops while we're here, letting it cool down. And then over here on the head, not so much good luck. I'm going to take some picture of this and send it to a expert and get his opinion on the subject. But yeah, I think these might be too far gone. Good news is while we were in here working, kind of appears that there's some valve seats that have been installed in here. So, if that is indeed the case, we might be able to pull those out and get some new ones put in there. I could be wrong. Hard to say. But this is the one that Dad was trying to clean up. It's got some pretty good sized pits down here. I think it could clean up. I think it's going to take a lot of work, though. And sadly, I don't know. Maybe at an impasse with this project. I don't know. I've put some feelers out with the Caterpillar Club to see if anybody's got some advice, new parts, new heads, and I'm going to snap some shots here and send it to somebody that hopefully can give us some advice or a direction to go. What do you think, buddy? Okay, so we're really jumping around today on our projects. Did a little work on the head, a little work trying to get the pistons loose. I'm going to crawl underneath the machine and pull this oil pump off. That's the pickup. They have these little locks on here I'll have to bend out and get this whole oil pump down out of here, because I would like to pull this last bearing cap right there. Get it out of the way. Get this keeper off of here. Dad's getting me wrenches.
Is this one too long?
Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. I'll use the impact though.
You never use old school.
No, why use old school?
You want this?
I have to on the back because I can't get a socket on it, but well, I was pulling down the front pickup screen, and when it swung down, I got a nice bath of icky water, diesel, Marvel mystery oil, and mystery substance. So I got the pickup tube off the front of the pump, or off the oil pump. So now I need to get the rest of this loose. Tractor has been surprisingly forgiving as far as rusted bolts. They've all come out relatively easy, including this one, surprisingly. And then I gotta bend these keepers back so I can get a wrench on that nut. All right.
You sure everything? Because it
should be loose. That's 4.
Get a hammer and tap it with your plastic hammer.
It should come out of there. I'm not sure what's holding it.
Well,
I'm gonna just throw these in that bolt bin. There we go.
is there 2 bolts on that screen?
Yeah.
Must be.
Got it. Now that should.
Probably have to get a screw. Oh.
There we go.
All right, you got it?
That's just the screen.
I know.
I got it. I have to build a gasket for that.
Yeah, no kidding.
That ain't nothing.
Here, give it here.
Ugh.
I'll go. You seen a little gap on top?
Well, I felt one. I can get my fingernail felt like in there through these rubber gloves.
Here, just put one in loose, so if it does break loose, it won't fall on you.
And I pull bearing cap off of number 4 here.
You got the wrench for it?
I will need it. I got to get those keepers.
What were
out.
those? 15. Oh, I can see over here.
Let me get the keepers out. Hey,
What?
I will need those side cutters. All right. So those are the things that gave me such a fit on number 3 and number 2. Because as you can see, those bearing caps were way up in there, and I had a real difficulty getting those out. So These I'm actually having better luck tapping out of here. Yeah, and I'll be able to grab them with the side cutters and pull them out. And then I can take that bearing cap loose and get it off. My mom gave me these for Christmas years ago, and they have served me well. And I think my grandfather got a pair. I think all the boys got one. And they have been well loved and well used. There we go, I got them out. Next step, break them loose. So you heard us talking about the dowel pins in a previous video. That's these little guys right here. Help index the bearing cap onto the crank. So you can't really get them flipped around, but in the previous video, Dad was over on the workbench stamping on here numbers to index them so that we wouldn't mix up the different cylinders. 1, 2, 3, and so on. But as soon as we get a wrench here, we'll get these two off of here. All right. Little smoke come off of that. Can you take the whole tool?
Got it.
All right. All right, I'm gonna have to tap it with a hammer wrench because it's not. It's loose.
You got that little ball peen there.
Yeah, I don't. Those nuts.
Oh, I thought I got them.
No, it's all right. I just don't want to hammer on it and have that slip off and mar the threads.
Well, don't beat them castle nuts up either.
No, it don't. I put them on even with the end of it, and it'll be fine.
They should go by hand.
Yeah, they are. This is just the way I had to do it before to get them off. Once I did that, it loosened it.
You know which side that one goes on?
I think I got it. Although there's days I wonder about myself. All right. I got everybody watching's in bib overall cam. I got my camera in my pocket in my bibs. Here we go. There.
Did it move it?
Oh yeah. In fact, now I need a wrench to get it loose.
Let's see. Those were 13/16.
Old school. Yeah. They were just too tight for a finger. Because those bolts are, they actually go all the way through and they'll come out the top. So that, on the other ones, that loosened the bearing cap up, but this one's not. I'm gonna hit it again. This was like one of the most overlooked tools in my toolbox for so many years. And I think I got it for free with that air compressor over in the other shop. There it goes. I saw the cat move. Yep, here we go.
So you really can't turn them around, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. All right. South nut. North nut. Oh, this one looks not bad at all.
That rear cylinder has not been bad.
Yeah.
The sleeve isn't bad.
Really?
And I don't think it's froze up bad. It's
No, this bearing's good. It's really good.
I'm going to stamp it anyway.
I know, you like your stamp.
It's just a little... it's just a little grease.
That one's not terrible. This is the one piston I don't think is stuck.
If it is, I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, I don't either. Some of this stuff hasn't been tight. So this is the injector that I made the tool to unscrew, but as you can see, it's up against the stud here in the head. So we're going to pull this stud out of here so we can get it turned around.
Wait.
Maybe.
No.
Let's heat it.
You're going to have to.
Yeah.
Have to.
All right, so not a terrible day out here. Feel a little better than we did before, but this head it's a possibility that the valve seats have been actually machined and replaced with removable ones or insertable ones. So that might be a route we may be able to go. I've also checked around to see if I can get another head for this machine, but we'll see. These early ones are super hard to come by. Tried a bunch of things, had some progress underneath, and got the last bearing cap off. Heated the pistons, see if we can get something loose. Heard some things sounded like pop loose, but we'll see. All in all, good day. Working on the cat with my dad, and now it's time for to sit back and relax for the evening. At any rate, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.